Hi, Andrew Caressi's here with Audiobro. I'd like to give you a quick tutorial on a new class of patches we've developed for LA scoring strings called aleatoric patches. These patches are really fun to play and can be very inspiring, especially for those tense score moments that we've all had to compose for. Aleatoric, in case you didn't know, is a term used it's often used in film music to describe composition techniques that use randomness and dissonance to increase the sense of drama and urgency. These new patches allow you to do just that very quickly and easily by just turning a few knobs. And since these patches make use of divisi sustains, tremolos, and trills, you can get quite a variety in addition to the flexibility afforded to you by the controls on the user interface. But before we get into the controls, let me give you a quick example of what these patches can actually sound like. Okay, now let's do a lower one, a more subtle, and just holding down one finger. And the auto divisi is going to automatically transpose the lower instruments an octave lower. Okay, here it goes. Now you might have noticed on that last one that I did not ride any of the pitch controls. And that's just to give you an example of what just modulation intensity all by itself can achieve. And here I'll play a little cluster, and I'll let the controls and the auto arranger do the rest. Okay, here we go. Okay, and here's the same idea, except an octave lower with the tremolos doing the same kind of thing. Okay, here we go. Now, the examples I just played are real simple, but you can get much more ambitious with your sounds by turning a few knobs, and I really encourage all of you just to experiment with these patches when you first load them. But when they load up, they come in a sort of a good starting point for aleatoric string writing. Okay, so let's see what some of these controls do. As you may have noticed in the previous examples, I really didn't push the pitch control or modulation intensity very far, but you can take them all the way up to the top like this, and then or anywhere in between. And what these controls do is they affect on how much these controls over here will affect the sound. So if my pitch control and modulation intensity are at 0, it will sound as if this patch was just a regular patch with a fairly long sustain. The divisis are represented here with these boxes here. They're labeled A, B, and C. And each one has their own corresponding solo light. So you can work on a patch and just hear one divisi at a time. Then next you have the pitch controller. And this has a range from minus a minor third to plus a minor third. And what this means is that wherever you put this pitch control, let's say you put it at plus a minor third, that is the maximum range that your pitch control, the master pitch control, will be able to detune the pitch. So here's an example. We'll put it at plus a minor third, and we will detune it with using the master pitch control. Okay, next what we'll do is we'll detune it a minor third, and you will use the master pitch control. Now you'll notice the pitch control made it go down. So you use that to set the range. Now you have the mod control, And this control dictates how much intensity, the maximum intensity that your modulator will have. And the speed control dictates the speed that the modulator will have. So let's give you an example of the speed. We'll turn the speed. I'll play a note. We'll turn the speed up. And you'll notice it's getting faster and faster and faster. And now it's starting to sound like a ring modulator, especially if you have the mod control all the way up. So you can you can do some really crazy things with this. And you can make it subtle or not so subtle. This should give you an idea of these three basic controls. And let's now use the modulation intensity knob to control how much intensity the mod and speed controls have. So let's now ride those two little knobs. Let's ride them down with the modulation intensity, and you can see. So there you go. There's this release time that refers to the envelope of each of the VCs. So they're globally manipulated. So if you want a shorter or longer release time for your string sound, you can adjust it here. And then up here, you have your EQ settings, and you can change the EQ, and just like all the other patches. And finally, we have a load and save dialog, which allows you to load this preset or save that preset. So you can take this entire thing we just did, and we can save it to disk and then load it into other patches. So you have a starting point. All right, so there you go. This is an introduction to the aleatoric patches, and I hope you enjoyed it. Thank you very much.